Hey YouTube, I'm back here with another video. This one actually comes as a request from Keith, my brother, and we're going to talk about the CB radios. CB radios have been used in semis for a long time, and they used to be in a lot of your personal vehicles as well. What we're going to talk about today is a little bit of how you use them and some of the terms that you might hear from the CB radios and what they mean. A lot of the stuff we're going to talk about has to deal with the oversized load hauling, stuff like that, stuff that not everyone understands what we're talking about when they hear us on the radio. First thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about the radio I have in my truck. Mine is this one up here. It's a Top Gun Quad 5, and I actually have a Predator 400 linear amp on mine. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little about my radio. The amp, I actually got it. This has been in our family for quite a long time. This was my Uncle Jerry's. He was a trucker for a long time. I got this from him. All my radio install was done in a at Danny's Truck Wash by Big Rig Radios in Phoenix, Arizona. So check them out. They do a real good job. They give a really good fair price. They're worth going to. But we're going to talk about my radio here for a minute. The Quad 5 is a really good radio. It has a lot of options to it. You got your volume control right here. Your squelch is obviously normally on all radios, is right behind it. The other thing that you would really want to know about on a radio is the RF gain. Here, let me get a flashlight on there, maybe you see it a little better. The RF gain right here, this is actually where I tune my radio as I'm going down the road. I like to get a little bit of the backfeed in so I can kind of hear, but that's where I get the majority of my sound from, is right there. You have your channel selector right here. I run channel 19 the majority of the time. That's pretty much all you need to know about this radio here. It does have the option of the beep. They call it a Roger beep. Lets you know, everyone know you're done talking. It has the echoing if you want to have the echo in the background. I really don't have all that extra stuff set up on mine. I don't really like the Roger beeps, and I don't like the echo in the background. Some guys you'll hear on the radio, you can't understand them. They got way too much of that echo going, and you don't know what they're saying. So I don't run it. The Roger beep is just an annoying beep in my opinion. Everyone knows when I'm done talking whenever I quit talking. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how a radio check would go. We may not get anybody to respond back to us, but we'll see. To talk on a radio, you just push this button on the side of the mic, and that's how you talk on the radio. So let's see if we can get someone to answer us. Radio check. Radio check. Radio check. Alright, so nobody's going to answer the radio. So that's alright. Sometimes you get people that answer it, sometimes you don't. It's getting a little late at night, so we may not get anybody to answer the radio tonight. So let's go ahead and let's move on to some terms that you might hear. Radio check, obviously, is what we just did. Check to see if people can hear you. The big thing with the radio check is that you might want to, when people respond, they're going to answer with loud and clear, or I hear you. Those are the typical terms that people say whenever they respond to a radio check. Sometimes you can ask them, hey, where are you at? That way you kind of know how far out are you pushing on your radio. It's good to know sometimes how far away people are hearing you. Other terms that you could hear is 10-4, means that I hear you. The other ones is a chicken coop. What is a chicken coop? A lot of people don't understand what a chicken coop is. That is a DOT scale house. You'll hear a lot of truckers ask, hey, is the chicken coop open? Well, it'll be a yes or no. So that's what a chicken coop is. Sometimes you'll hear driver over the radio. They're talking about a truck driver. You don't hear it a whole lot, but you do hear it every now and then. The other one is a bear. You got a bear up ahead. They're talking about a cop. You got a cop that's up ahead somewhere. Pay attention. Most of the time they'll give you a landmark of where it is, a road marker. That way you kind of know where that cop's at. Another big one that you'll hear every now and then is four-wheelers. When they're talking about a four-wheeler, they're talking about a car or a pickup truck that's driving around. If you hear large car or large truck, they're talking about a semi that's driving around. Me and my brother, some of the other drivers that we drive with, when we got to get fuel, we'll say, hey, we got to stop and get us some dinosaurs. We're talking about getting some diesel in our trucks. Chicken lights. Those are the lights that you see on the trucks going around the sides and all over. When a truck's really lit up with more than just the basic lights, those are chicken lights. Let's see here, what else is there? Back door. You got back door, that means that someone's coming up from behind you. Your front door, obviously someone's in front of you, or there's a cop coming at your front door. You got a clean shot, means that you have the road up ahead. There's nothing ahead of you. Just keep on trucking. You're doing good. Let's see here. What's a few other ones that you'll hear? A wait cop, or sometimes you'll hear it called a full grown. That's a DOT cop. He's the guy that can pull over a semi and he can do a full check over your truck, do whatever he wants, and doesn't really have to have a reason to do it. That's what those guys are for. Let's see here. You've got going to the barnyard or the shop, means you're going back to your terminal, or you're going back to wherever your truck stays whenever you're not driving it typically. Hammer down means keep your foot in it. Let's go. Keep on a trucking. There's no reason to slow down. For oversized loads, you're here, hey, go ahead and take the zipper lane. A lot of people have no idea what we're talking about when we say, hey, I'm going to take the zipper. Well, when you look at the road and you see that white dotted line going down the center, and you see that oversized load that's traveling and he's taking 2 lanes and he's riding right down the center of those white lines, the dotted line, he's taking the zipper lane and he has all the rights to that lane, because when we're oversized, sometimes we have to take up more than one lane to clear an obstacle, or sometimes our permits even tell us that we have to do it. Let's see here, I think it's Iowa requires that when we go over a bridge and we're oversized, that we go right in the center of the bridge. We're supposed to take up both lanes of traffic going down that bridge. Your pilot cars, they'll normally call stuff out if you have pilot cars for us oversized guys, but those are some of the terms, what they mean, what we're doing out here. You know, CB radio is a great thing to have in a semi. If you want to put them in your personal vehicles, you know, turn them on, stay off it unless you actually have a reason to talk on them. Because a lot of the times you'll have an accident coming up ahead and it could be on a blind corner, or you could top the top of a hill and it could be on the other side of the hill. And if you don't have a CB on, you might have had truckers that were trying to warn people about it, and you didn't get a warning because you didn't have a radio on in your truck and you weren't paying attention. You know, they'll tell you where the accident's at, what's going on, or if a lane's closed down, what lane you need to get into to make your trip safely. You know, the biggest thing that irritates me with the CB radio is when you get those guys out there and they're playing their rap music and their country music or whatever music. It's not for music to be getting broadcasted over. You know, let's use it for talking, and that's what they're for. You get those guys that have all the millions of beeps that they'll put over the radio. I know going through Memphis, it's a circus going through Memphis when you have your CB on. People are beeping the radios and playing songs over it. You can't even use a radio for what they're intended for. Common courtesy a lot of the times is if you're traveling with a group of truckers and you're going to be doing a lot of talking on the radio, go to another channel. The CB radios come with 40 channels stock. You know, go use a different channel. That way you're not flooding channel 19 with you guys just sitting there talking, because not everybody wants to hear what you guys are saying. But those are my thoughts on the CB radio. I love it. Wouldn't ever have a semi without it. I think every truck driver ought to have a CB radio in their truck, and they ought to have them turned on and use them as a safety device. They really do help when there's accidents ahead, or you got a truck that slides on the ice, or even if you have a problem with your truck. You know, a lot of times you hear them call it a rig. Your rig is your semi. You might have blown a tire on the trailer, didn't realize it, but that trucker behind you, he sees it happening. He's going to call you on the radio and say, hey, you just blew a tire, step deck. Let's talk about the different types of trailers and what they mean. You'll hear a step deck. That's what we're on right now. A flatbed, they'll call them a skateboard. RGN, they'll call us low boys, RGNs. A box truck is a truck that doesn't have a refrigerator on it. It's completely boxed in. Refrigerated truck, you hear them called reefers. Let's see here. You've got your tankers, which they haul the fuel and all that stuff. You got your hazmat trucks. You'll hear some people call them, hey, hazmats. Those are your basic trucks that you have out there. But overall, we're out here, let's stay safe. Do what you're supposed to be doing, keeping your eyes on the road, and let's get what we got to do to wherever it's got to go, and let's get it there safely. If you like what you've seen on our channel, please subscribe and like it and share what you see and share the content. Leave us a comment below and we read the comments, and we'd love to make videos of what you'd like to see. If there's something you'd like to see more of, then you know, let us know. We're gonna do some loading and unloading videos coming up here really soon. Keep us updated, let us know what you're thinking, and thanks for tuning in and watching this video. If you have any questions, like I said, go ahead and ask. Got Jason over here. He's been chilling out. He's been our camera guy for this trip. Oh, Abby wants to come up. She's saying hi to everybody too. But you all have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video.